Welcome back to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast, where we talk about all things smoked meat and so much more, including hilarious stories about our farm to table lifestyle and our love of the outdoors. I'm your host, Trevor. Be sure to tune in until the end of today's episode for this week's feature recipe and how to qualify for the BBQ Brag to Win giveaway contest. Episode 9. Let's do this. Welcome to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast. I'm your host, Trevor. And if you've ever had a piece of meat so tender, you've wondered if it could qualify for a Nobel Peace Prize, then you're in the right place. Today, folks, we're talking about the future of barbecuing and smoked meats in 2025. We've got the low and slow experts, the grill warriors, the backyard pit masters, and the people who've just discovered what a smoker is last summer at a backyard cookout. But hey, they've seen some YouTube videos, so they're practically professionals, right? Look, barbecuing is more than just slapping a piece of meat on the fire and praying it doesn't end up as charcoal. It's an art form. It's about tradition, it's about flavor, and let's be real, it's about making people think you're something special when you pull that perfect rack of ribs out of the smoker. Now, you might be wondering, what in the name of low carb diets is 2025 going to do to barbecue? Is Elon making us all robot chefs? Can we get a meat flavored smoothie? And where's the line between innovative and sacrilegious when it comes to the sacred art of smoking meats? Well, friends, today we're diving deep into the world of barbecue, and I'm going to walk you through some of the craziest ideas and innovations that might just change the way you slap some brisket on the grill. So grab a cold drink, sit back, and let's talk about barbecuing in 2025. Spoiler alert, there will be smoked meats, questionable gadgets, and definitely some bad jokes. All right, let's get down to business. Barbecuing is a way of life, right? It's not just about the meat, it's about the experience. The smell of the smoker, the beers clinking, the laughter, the drama of waiting for that damn brisket to hit 200 plus. Oh, we've all been there. But 2025, that's a whole new ball game. First off, let's talk about the tech. Yes, I said it. Barbecues and smokers are going high tech. We're no longer using just charcoal and wood to fuel our smoky dreams. Now we've got smart grills. You know, the kind that hook up to your smartphone and send you a text when the meat is done? Imagine that, your grill texting and ribbing you like, "Hey lips, your ribs are ready. Get over here and make me some sides, lazy." In 2025, you're going to see more grills with integrated sensors and apps that track the internal temperature of the meat. No more worrying about checking the brisket every 30 minutes. It's like having your very own personal grill assistant. I mean, who needs a spouse when you've got a grill that can remind you to baste your pork shoulder? And while we're talking about sensors, let's talk about AI. You might think I'm joking, but I'm serious. In 2025, there might be barbecue robots that analyze the air, the humidity, temperature to perfectly time your meat's cook. You just throw in the meat, sit back, and let the robot do the rest. It'll even give you a rating after the cook. Wow, your ribs were 95% perfect, but I noticed you didn't rest them long enough. Try again. You know, just in case your human pride wasn't already destroyed by the robot taking over your kitchen, the AI will rub it in with its cold mechanical logic. Let's not even get started on automated smokers. Picture this, you're out with friends, enjoying a few beers, and suddenly the smoker just takes over. The app on your phone lights up with a notification like, "I'm turning your temperature down. You've been drinking for an hour. Do you really want to burn that brisket?" These smart smokers will let you control everything from air vents to the heat, so whether you're grilling, smoking, or roasting, your grill's got you covered. It's the equivalent of having a little robot butler who really cares about your meat's internal temperature. And let's face it, we all need a little help in that department. Because we're just one overly ambitious temperature check away from ruining an entire rack of ribs, pork butter, brisket. Now, let's step away from the tech for a minute and talk about something that might sound familiar. but is going to go wild in 2025. International barbecue styles. We're used to our classic American barbecue, brisket from Texas, pulled pork from the Carolinas, and even popular ribs from pretty much anywhere. But in 2025, barbecue is going global. Think about it. Barbecue is one of the most universal cooking methods in the world. From the smoky grills of Argentina to the marinated meats of South Korea, countries around the globe have their own unique takes on grilling and smoking. And guess what? They're coming for your smoker in 2025. Let's start with the Argentinian Asado. You've probably never heard of it. I probably didn't even say it right. It's meat cooked over an open flame, typically beef, but also lamb, chicken, and sometimes even sausages. The real charm here is the technique. It's not about seasoning the meat, it's about the entire process. Slow cooking over an open fire, surrounded by embers. In 2025, expect to see the Asado grills popping up in more backyards, with Argentinian style rubs and marinades making their way into your pantry. Next, we have Korean barbecue. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm already a fan of grilling up little cuts of beef, pork, chicken right at the table. But in 2025, we're going to see even more of that flavor explode on the scene. Expect to see Korean style smokers that infuse the meat with those signature sweet and salty marinades and bring that smoky flavor directly to your plate. Pair that with some kimchi, grilled vegetables for good measure. The future of barbecue, it's going to be a little bit spicy, a little bit tangy, and definitely a whole lot of smoky. And don't forget about Japanese yakitori. This barbecue method is all about skewering small pieces of meat, often chicken, but it can be anything, and grilling it over hot coals. It's fast, it's flavorful, and it's something we'll see more in 2025. Maybe we'll even see yakitori style smokers that replicate the Japanese grilling process, creating those charred, crispy edges while keeping the meat juicy and tender. The influence of global barbecue styles is going to skyrocket, and if you're not experimenting with skewers by 2025, you're missing out. One more thing to keep an eye on: Brazilian barbecue. In case you've never had it, this is the type of barbecue where meats are skewered on massive swords and slowly cooked over a fire. 2025 is going to see an explosion in Brazilian barbecue restaurants that bring this style of barbecue into the spotlight. Expect your backyard barbecue to get a little more medieval with some massive spit roasting setups, making you feel like the king of the grill, and who doesn't want that? As barbecue enthusiasts, we're going to have a lot of fun mixing and matching these global techniques and flavors, experimenting with different spices and smoking methods. 2025 will be a year where you can take a world tour without leaving your backyard, where global flavors and techniques mix and mingle on your grill. It's going to be a barbecue revolution, and everyone's invited to the table. Now, as much as we all love good traditional barbecue, smoked ribs, brisket, sausage, 2025 is going to be a time of experimentation. Barbecue isn't just going to be about cooking meat anymore. It's going to be about creating entire barbecue experiences. What does that mean? Well, let's break it down. In the near future, you might see barbecue themed restaurants when you're eating your pork belly while riding a mechanical bull. Or maybe they've introduced a new flavor profile, barbecue infused with CBD. I'm not saying that's happening tomorrow, but I wouldn't put it past some enterprising barbecue chef to throw a little chill into your brisket, if you know what I mean. Oh, and you know how every barbecue joint has their own signature sauce? In 2025, expect to see barbecue sauces that are literally out of this world. I'm talking liquid nitrogen barbecue sauces, smoky cocktails, or even barbecue ice cream, which, okay, let's not get too crazy yet. Let's take it a step further. There are going to be smoke infusions for your alcohol. Yes, you heard that right. Smoked whiskey, smoked tequila, smoked vodka. It's like barbecue and your happy hour had a beautiful love child. You sip on your smoked whiskey, bite into a perfectly smoked pork belly, and wonder why you ever bothered with wine pairings in the first place. There might even be some new wild barbecue flavor trends. We're talking everything from spicy chocolate rubs to coffee infused brisket because 2025 is going to get weird, folks. It's not just about the meat anymore, it's about creating a sensory experience. Don't just eat your barbecue, feel it, taste it, and maybe even hear it with the right sound effects. Think of it as a barbecue concert for your senses. Now, let's get to the meat of this situation in 2025. Barbecuing is going to be more about the clout than it is about the food. Yep, you heard that right. We live in a world where you're not really a barbecue enthusiast unless you've got at least 10,000 followers on Facebook who are watching you rub your ribs in some custom spice mix. And let's be honest, there's nothing more satisfying than pulling out a 12-hour smoked brisket and watching your friends film it on their phones like you're some kind of barbecue god. By 2025, barbecuing will be a performance art. You'll have people out there filming their grill masters TikTok challenges where they're like, watch me nail this slow and slow brisket cook. No pressure. Meanwhile, in the background, the rest of us are just waiting for them to burn it. But we support them, sort of. We're going to see more barbecue competitions, more barbecue influencers, and honestly, more barbecue merch than you can shake a rib at. Could we be seeing barbecue themed streetwear in 2025? I wouldn't put it past someone to start selling limited edition Grillmaster hats that come with a smoke ring. Expect barbecue cooking shows on every streaming platform, hosted by people who can do things like make smoked meats in the darkness of space or barbecue from a hot air balloon. The limits of barbecue creativity will be pushed, and the next viral challenge could involve cooking a whole pig while riding a unicycle. Anything can happen when barbecue meets the internet. All right, so we've talked about the barbecue technology and the global expansion of barbecue styles. But if there's one thing we all know for sure, it's that the barbecue is more than just food, it's a social experience. And in 2025, the way we gather around the grill is going to be a whole new ballgame. Gone are the days when barbecuing was just about standing by the grill and flipping some burgers while everyone huddled around with a beer, hoping no one would ask to make the potato salad. In 2025, barbecue gatherings are going to become interactive, immersive events that bring people together in a way that goes beyond just eating meat. It's going to be about the whole barbecue culture, the ambiance, the laughs, the games, the stories. First off, let's talk about barbecue pop up events. In 2025, barbecue is going to be all over the place. Like, all over the place. Imagine a barbecue festival that takes over an entire neighborhood, or even a barbecue street food market that brings the world's best smoked meats to your door. Think of it like a food truck, but instead of tacos, you're getting smoked beef short ribs. You'll have pit masters from all over the world showcasing their craft. And the best part, everyone's invited to the barbecue party. And if you're not into the huge crowd scene, no worries. In 2025, virtual barbecue experiences are going to be a thing. That's right, virtual barbecue parties. You can hang out with your friends, fire up the smoker, and smoke meat together over a video call while you swap recipes, throw around some jokes, and maybe even a virtual beer or two. It's like a Netflix watch party, but instead of binge watching the latest true crime series, you're binge smoking meats together. No need to leave your couch, but you're still creating that same sense of connection and community barbecue is all about. The barbecue industry is also leaning into interactive cooking. Expect to see barbecue workshops and classes where you're not just getting a cookbook. No, no. You're getting a hands on experience where you and close friends can learn how to smoke a brisket, master the art of making rubs, or create the perfect barbecue sauce. But it's not just about the cooking, it's about making memories together. Imagine a barbecue class where you're smoking meats alongside your best friend, cracking jokes, and taking Instagram photos of every single thing you do. That's the future of barbecue, less about showing off and more about sharing. The social media influence on barbecue gatherings is going to skyrocket in 2025. People won't just be snapping pictures of their perfectly seared steaks, they'll be documenting the entire barbecue experience. You'll see viral barbecue challenges that involve massive grills, time cooking competitions, and maybe even some wacky cook offs. Who can make the best barbecue while wearing a full suit and tie? Social media will continue to blur the lines between food for Instagram and food for the soul, giving barbecue lovers a platform to share their culinary creations and inspire others to get in on the fun. Oh, and let's not forget about barbecue pop up dinners. Imagine a secret barbecue feast where the location is only revealed an hour before the event. You and your crew show up, and there's a massive smoker grilling meat in the middle of nowhere. That's a barbecue experience you'll remember for the rest of your life, especially when you can just add it to your social feed for all the foodies to drool over. It's no longer about a backyard party. It's about creating memorable, Instagram worthy moments with every plate you serve. So there you have it. Barbecuing in 2025 is going to be more than just a meal, it's going to be an experience. From viral hangouts to massive pop up barbecue events, the future of barbecue will be as much about connecting with others as it will be about the meat on the grill. And honestly, who could ask for anything better than that? But in the end, no matter how much barbecue tech advances or how many viral barbecue memes we create, one thing will always remain the same. Barbecue is about the people. It's about getting together, having some laughs, and maybe getting a little too drunk on smoked bourbon. So, whether you're a seasoned pitmaster or someone who just figured out how to work a smoker, barbecuing will always be about that magic moment when you pull something off of the grill and people take that first bite and their eyes light up. That's the true future of barbecue: the community, the smoke, the laughter, the oops, I burnt it, but we're still going to eat it because we're starving moments. All right, folks, that's it for today's barbecue time travel adventure. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and maybe even send some smoked ribs if you're feeling generous. And remember, no matter what fancy gadget, crazy flavor, or trend that comes around in 2025, never forget the one rule of barbecue: keep it smoking. Until the next time, friends, catch you on the next episode of the BBQ Beautiful Podcast. Stay hungry, stay smoky, and remember, don't mess with the brisket. Trust me. This week's feature recipe is reverse seared prime rib. Prime rib is considered one of the most delicious cuts of beef, and when reverse seared on a smoker, it reaches a whole new level of flavor and tenderness. The reverse searing process begins by slow cooking the prime rib at a low temperature on the smoker, typically anywhere around 200 to 225, allowing the meat to cook evenly and retain its natural juices. This slow cooking enhances the beef's rich marbling, making it more tender and flavorful, while the gentle heat ensures the meat remains juicy and succulent. As the prime rib cooks, the smoke from the smoker infuses the meat with a deep smoky aroma and taste, adding layers of complexity that traditional oven roasting simply can't replicate. The type of wood used in the smoker, whether hickory, oak, mesquite, further enhances the flavor profile, contributing subtle nuances that complement the beef's natural richness. Once the prime rib reaches the desired internal temperature, it is finished with a high heat sear, either on the smoker's hot side or using a separate pan. This searing step creates a crispy, caramelized crust, locking in the juices and delivering an irresistible contrast between the smoky, tender interior and the savory, crispy exterior. The result is a prime rib that's exceptionally flavorful, tender, and full of smoky goodness. So for this recipe, you're going to need roughly 20 minutes of prep, 4 to 24 hours of dry brine time every time, folks. And your cook time is between 4 and 5.5 hours. Selecting the perfect prime rib for reverse searing on a smoker involves a few key considerations. First, quality. Choose a high quality prime rib with good marbling as marbling ensures flavor and tenderness. 2. Size. Decide on the size based on the number of servings needed and the capacity of your smoker. Typically, plan for about a pound per person if bone-in and slightly less if boneless. Bone-in versus boneless. Bone-in prime ribs generally have more flavor due to the bones contributing to the taste during cooking. Boneless may be easier to carve and serve. Trick here is to carve the bones off prior to seasoning and tie them back on so you have the best of both worlds. Then you can just remove when it's cooked and slice. 4. Thickness. Opt for a uniform thickness across the roast for even cooking. A thicker cut around 3 inches or more allows for better control during the reverse searing process. Fat cap. Look for a prime rib with a consistent and moderate fat cap. This layer of fat adds flavor and moisture during cooking. Ensure it's not excessively trimmed. Freshness. Choose a prime rib ideally from a trusted butcher or farmer. Freshness ensures optimal taste and texture. When preparing to reverse sear, these considerations will help you achieve a juicy and flavorful prime rib with a perfectly seared exterior from your smoker. Ingredients: prime rib roast based on your needs. Rub. Recommend a generous coating of BBQ Beautiful base layer, extremely sharp knife, and some olive oil. For the spritz, 1 cup beef stock, half a cup brewed black coffee, 2 tablespoons hot sauce, and 2 tablespoons Wersch. Directions: Step 1. Remove the prime rib roast from its packaging and dry thoroughly with paper towels. Step 2. Trim the prime rib of excess fat. At this point, I would recommend separating the ribs from the meat and tying them back on the roast with butcher's string. This will make carving the roast in the end much easier, but still cooking with the flavor-packed bones. Step 3. Apply a coating of olive oil all over using your hands. Using your favorite rub, generously season. Step 4. Place in the fridge uncovered 4 to 24 hours to dry brine. Step 5. Set up your smoker for a low and slow cook. Shoot for 210. Fill the water pan. If your smoker doesn't have a water pan, use an aluminum foil pan. Step 6. Place the prime rib roast on the pit. Step 7. Cook for 2 hours without opening the lid. Step 8. Mix the spritz ingredients in a spray bottle and shake well. Step 9. After 2 hours, open the lid and spritz the meat. Make sure to refill the water pan if running low. This will ensure a humid cooker, helping keep the prime rib roast moist and provide a convection type cooking environment. Close the lid and continue cooking. Now is when you start checking the internal temperature and spritzing the meat every half an hour. Step 10. Pull the prime rib roast off the smoker when the internal temperature registers 115 to 120. Loosely tent the roast with aluminum foil and rest while you set up the smoker for high heat searing. Step 11. Bring the temperature of your pit as high as you can and sear the prime rib roast. Place the roast back into the smoker closest to the firebox and sear for 10 minutes, turning the meat often to avoid burning and ensuring an even sear. If your smoker isn't set up for high heat searing, you can set a temp in your oven to 500 and cook for an additional 10 minutes. You can get a pan screaming hot and sear in a frying pan as well. Step 12. Remove the prime rib roast from the smoker and let rest for an additional 15 minutes. Step 13. Cut the butcher string, remove the rib portion, slice the beautiful prime rib roast, eat and enjoy. Send me your comments, let me know what you think if you try this recipe. Use it as a base. Experiment. Tell me what you do. Okay, it's time for our barbecue giveaway that we're calling Barbecue Brag to Win. One lucky listener will win some amazing barbecue merch that'll take your outdoor cooking to a whole new level. Whether you're a backyard beginner or a seasoned pit master, this giveaway is going to be for you. So what's up for grabs? First, a BBQ Beautiful bundle. This includes 1 BBQ Beautiful base layer, honey heat, brisket rub, and a spicy chimney from our lineup of seasonings and rubs. Next, one t-shirt and hat of your choice from the BBQ Beautiful website, www.bbqbeautiful.ca. And of course, there's going to be free shipping. How to enter? First, make sure you're subscribed to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode or an announcement. Next, connect with us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok at BBQ Beautiful. Then share our latest episode on your stories or feed, and don't forget to tag us. Use the hashtag BBQBragToWin. BBQ BRAGTOWIN. This way we can easily find your posts. Finally, drop a comment on our giveaway post telling us about your favorite barbecue recipe, or share your best barbecue tip, pictures, or videos. And here's the kicker. For each additional entry you want to earn, simply engage with us. Like and share the posts, comment on our episodes, or even send us a voice message with your barbecue questions or stories. The more you interact, the more chances you have to win. So get creative and show us your barbecue. Let's talk about the timeline. You have until the 25th of each month to enter. Mark your calendars because we'll be announcing the first winner on November 29th. You don't want to miss it, and who knows, it could be you. Why are we putting on this giveaway? Well, we want to express our thanks to each and every one of you who tunes in each week. Your support means the world, and this giveaway is our way of giving back to this amazing barbecue community that we're building together. And we really do want to hear from you. So what topics do you want us to cover in future episodes? Are there any barbecue legends or techniques you want us to dive into? Share your thoughts in the comments when you enter the giveaway. This is all about community, and we want to make sure that we're bringing the content you all love. So to recap, subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social, share our latest episode using hashtag BBQBragToWin, and comment on our giveaway post. It's that easy. Get excited because this is your chance to elevate your barbecue game with some awesome gear. Good luck to everyone out there, and may the best griller win.